Okay, so the footage you're seeing right now is me showing my entire commander deck. This is Rhys the Redeemed. It's actually a mono green deck. I've had that card for a very long time. I've loved elves for a very long time. It's probably my favorite tribal theme. This category is about a level 4. We'll talk about all that stuff in a minute. I just wanted to show off my collection, I guess. Some of these cards I've owned for a very long time, and some of them not so much. I mean, this is like literally, like I said, like one of my favorite decks, if not my favorite deck, and it's I don't know, it's pretty expensive, honestly. When you've played the game long enough and you hold, like, for example, like coat of arms nowadays are $20. I bought them like way back in the day before like Commander got super popular. It was like $5 a piece or so. Apparently this fucking Soul Ring is like worth $14. I don't fucking believe it. That's what I saw. Apparently this deck in itself is worth over $800. It is not CEDH, and that's CEDH in my opinion is just like the most optimized deck you can possibly make under the conditions that you are providing yourself, and even then that might not be strong enough. So like I said, this is a mono green deck. I mean, where do I go from here? It's Elfball, classic Elfball. I put a lot of ramp in this. I kind of skipped out on stuff that I felt like was kind of more filler, but I also am all about budgeting, not exactly in terms of pricing, but like mana value wise. A lot of this deck sits around the 3 and 4 mana value. CMC or whatever the fuck is the right whatever. But yeah, like that Timberwatch Elf, for example, I've owned that card for fucking a very long time. That's a newer card, obviously the last couple of years it came out. But and the thing is, like, I haven't even been able to play some of these with some of these newer cards that I've added since. I mean, this is like I started playing Commander about last year, so a coworker introduced me into it. I mean, I was aware of Commander, but I was far more into like 60 card decks and stuff, and I don't know, like I kind of like annoyed by the fact that whatever your commander is, you can't go outside those colors, but whatever. And then obviously Highlander rules, kind of whatever. I mean, it would be nice to make even like a 60 card. I know there's like there's Brawl or whatever, but I don't know. I do like the competition side, being as fast as possible to get it out. And once again, a lot of these cards I actually pulled, like that I pulled out of a mystery booster box. That I actually bought. I think that shit's like $60 or $70 now. That's fucking insane. Fucking insane. Pulled that out of a mystery booster box too. Yeah. So I mean, anyway, I don't know where. I mean, once again, like before we get into the logistics of that, I mean, I bought that before it gets now like what $70 or whatever a piece. But it was like I got it like when it was about like $50. But I mean, I bought the box, the booster, the fucking bundle now. What is it? That's an old day. Like that's another one I've owned for fucking a very long time. Apparently that's a finisher card, which I don't really believe, but whatever. I mean, I could see it as a finisher. It's not trample, but it's just like, so you're just telling me any fucking trample card that gets big enough could be fucking a finisher, whatever. Then you're gonna tell me a fucking 1/1 could be a finisher. I mean, I guess eventually, but how do I break it down? You know, it's tribal, mono, a lot of mono ramping, tokens like a motherfucker. I mean, the fucking commander himself is like a token provider, whatever the fuck, mass producer, whatever. I got a walk. I mean, I can't believe I pulled a walking ballista. That was nice. I didn't think I'd ever. And that the only reason why I have that in there is for the final text. I'll explain later. But I do love Eldrazi, so fuck off. I don't care. And on the salty level, it's a pretty salty deck. I've been able to definitely beat people pretty. I mean, like with the way I play, like once when a certain card. I mean, I have many ways of finishing the game, whatever. But that one, I like the back of the card. That Primal Surge is the only sorcery in my deck. I pulled that out of a Japanese booster box. I think I pulled 2 of them, like I said. Or I've opened 2 boxes at least. This is just some of the stuff I got. We're getting there. That I don't know, like some things I might take out. I mean, that I just feel like it was worth it, the Thran Dynamo, because it's worth it or whatever, because I just have so much fucking mana. I put all the Japanese in the back just because I had to fucking remember what the fuck the cards even fucking did and what their names were. Still not. I mean, I'm not fucking fluent at all in Japan or Japanese. Fuck. And then if you're gonna look at the Archdeck that I put up, I don't know how to add individual forests, so it's just, I don't know if it even is $800. So it could be like, take off fucking, because I think the fucking Kamigawa full art is now $3, which is fucking crazy to me. We're pretty much getting the end here before we get into, I guess, the actual layout. I mean, you could have skipped this. This is just like showing off my art. I mean, once again, that's one. Like, those are apparently $3 now. It's crazy to me. I don't believe that shit. That's no way. Full art used to be expensive. I don't believe it is at all anymore. So, whether the deck is actually worth 800 or more than 800 or whatever is fucking beyond me. I don't give a shit. This is just what I've been collecting. And then I show you some fucking dumb. I think like literally the back of it. I don't have any treasure creature. I don't have any cards that give me treasures as far as I'm seeing. So I accidentally fucked that up. And then I was thinking about adding that card. I might switch it out with something. We'll see. But anyway, so we're gonna get to Archdeck. Hold on, let me get these ads out of the way. All right, so this is Rhys the Redeemed. Like I said, just to find it, I'll just put a link in the bio or whatever the fuck. But also, if you need to look, if you want to find it, apparently it's $800. I think a lot of that money does go towards, or at least like there's 27 fucking lands that are apparently worth $3, so it's probably not 800. Salt sum, I mean, apparently the median, which is lesser than average, it's not, I mean, what people pretty much want is about 38.36 for the salt. It's a pretty salty deck at about 54 out of 100, 54.19. What are they called? Hashtag it or whatever the fuck, or detailed it, whatever the fuck these are called, describing it with elves, ramp, drawing, +1/+1 counters and tokens. It's a pretty versatile deck. I put it in optimized 4. Once again, it's not fully optimized to be a CEDH, but anyway. So we got Rhys the Redeemed, token generator, and then he can double, not only, I mean, he could be good in other token decks, but anyway, he can double tokens. This deck also uses a lot of untapping activated abilities, so this motherfucker untaps a lot sometimes, but that's just one way of winning. Obviously with swarming. So then we got Coat of Arms, pretty typical Anthem. I mean, like I said, I bought this when it was fucking $5. Now it's worth $20 or whatever, or 21. If you don't know what Coat of Arms, real quick, just for each elf on the battlefield that gets an additional +1/+1, not counter, but just gets stronger for each other elf, for example, or maybe even a warrior, depends on whatever. I don't fucking know all the ins and outs. Doesn't matter. Just makes them beefy and strong. This is literally, you got Galadhrim Brigade. That's essentially I mean, you got to pay for it, but like it's essentially Coat of Arms, but like a creature version. I'm all about permanence anyway, or permanence. I only have one sorcery in this entire deck, no instance. That's how I play, man. Not all the time, but at least with this deck. For this, we'll get into it. But yeah, you have a bunch of mana. You make a fuck ton of these guys. It's essentially Coat of Arms, part 2, but like human. And then we got this Joraga Warcaller, which is essentially the same thing as these other two, but instead of making a fuck ton, or this one not making any, it doesn't make any creatures or tokens or whatever, but buff them, but you also get a bunch of creatures, and then just buff them. All your creatures get buffed based on how strong he is. He's a +1/+1 counter generator. Well, not generator, but like you put a fuck ton on him, or if you can pay for the multi-kicker, you get it's an anthem for all your fucking elves. Marvin, Murderous Mimic. I just for flavor wise, I don't really fucking. This motherfucker scares the shit out of me, frankly. But, it kind of reminds me of like Toy Story. The broken toys aren't all, or all those like fucking like disturbing toys are all like, they're not, don't judge a book by its cover. But, so his ability, is a copy. I try not to do too many copies because, it's kind of boring or whatever. But, and that's why I might switch him out or whatever, but we'll see. But it's nice to have an activated ability. So if I wanted to, as far as I'm reading this, activated abilities of creatures you control that don't have the same name, so I could theoretically double if I have enough mana. If I, in case I don't, I can't continuously untap or whatever. Forgotten Ancient, he sees all essentially, giving me a fuck ton of +1/+1 counters and then throwing that onto to defends or, make him stronger, whatever. We got Beast Whisperer, once again, drawing whenever I cast a creature spell, which I do that pretty often. Descendants Path, that's, as long as it's a shared creature type, before you draw a card at the beginning of your turn, you'll reveal the top card. If it shares a creature type, then I can put it in my hand, so it's an extra drawing. You get to draw an extra card. And if not, then it puts it at the bottom of the library, which could fuck me up, honestly. We'll see what happens with that. I mean, I do like that card, so that's a card I've had for a while. I mean, fucking back in Innistrad, what is that, Avacyn, I think? Avacyn Restored, I'm not sure. New Capenna, this is reveal cards, you fucking sacrificing your tokens and you get fucking more elves. Greater Good, you get sacrifice big ass fucking tokens or whatever, you draw a fuck ton of cards. Kozilek, once again, when Kozilek is put into the graveyard from anywhere, its owner shuffles his or her graveyard into his or her library. That's like a fail-safe for me, as well as, if I ever get milled or whatever. It's also nice to have an Eldrazi with Annihilator 4. I was playing around when this... I was still playing around when Eldrazi, Rise of the Eldrazi came out. I thought Eldrazi were fucking dope. I have an Eldrazi deck, so... I don't really care about the draw 4 card. Once again, the most important part of me is the bottom text that shuffles the library or the graveyard back into the library. So it's kind of like this infinite cycle of sorts, unless you obviously exile it or exile my fucking graveyard, whatever. You can't fucking protect against everything, or you could do your best. But this dude, allows you to look at your top card and you could cast it. Chosen type, so if I pick elf, so it's another, it's kind of like an extra hand, like an extra card in your hand of sorts, but sort of, not really. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield in your control, scry one. Like, say if I fucking have 100 creatures enter the battlefield, I could literally scry through my entire deck if I wanted to. Just to see the order, it'd be kind of dope. It's kind of dope to think about. Or once again, you find the card you absolutely need or whatever. The One Ring, it's fucking... Come on, you're fucking... I think almost every... Until, like, that shit gets banned, it probably should be in, like, every CEDH deck that can handle it. Just too strong of a card not to fucking have. $80 now. Jesus Christ. Champion of Lambholt makes it so your creatures are unblockable, if the stronger she becomes with her +1/+1 counters, and when more creatures enter the battlefield, on my... whenever another creature under my control, then I get a +1/+1 counter. So I make it so it's pretty easy to be unblockable. Taunting Elf, you make him really fucking strong and then throw him at somebody. That's fucking funny. Craterhoof Behemoth, pretty classic. Enters battlefield, gives all your creatures trample, and then for the number of creatures you get +X/+X. Pretty solid finisher. Heedless One, I guess, is a finisher. It makes sense because it gets stronger. A number of elves in play, whatever, and it's got trample. Sure, why not? You only can kill one person, though. As far as I'm seeing, I don't know. A finisher, in my opinion, it kills everyone at once. Whereas Heedless One, you're going to be only able to kill somebody, like one person. And that's if they might be able to fucking block it or somehow, like Death Touch or something. Primal Surge, like I said, I have no other... sorcerer instant, so all my cards are permanent. So once when I play this card, which I am very capable of making, getting 10 mana, it's pretty quick sometimes. It's a gamble sometimes, but once again, I play this card, it's pretty much game. So, and there's fail safes. I put all my cards, and then someone does some kind of crazy wraith or something like that. Or something, I don't know, something crazy. I can fucking drop Kozilek, sacrifice Kozilek. So fucking. Whatever. So Primal Surge. I typically, once when Primal Surge, like I said, I pull out fucking everything. Just every way of killing someone. Like I said, I got Glistener Elf or whatever. In fact, fucking, anyway, only 28 lands if you count Yavi Maya. Cradle of Growth, because it is also a forest. Technically, it turns each land into a forest. So that's 28. That's pretty fucking low. But I mean, I literally, a lot of ramp in this, man. Continuing on, Aetherflux Reservoir. I mean, it's pretty simple to gain a bunch of life, but also just pretty easy to kill someone one shot. Once again, another way where I get the Primal Surge out, Aetherflux Reservoir, easily just fucking kill somebody. Or kill everybody, or kill anything, creature or player. Nissa Ravine. Anyway, I'm probably mispronouncing that. Just essentially like a Well-Wisher 2.0. You gain 2 life for each elf you control. And then if I ever get to that finish, I can put all the elves on the field. So, Well-Wisher, like I said, you gain 1 life for each elf in play, where Nissa's 2 life per elf. But you get to untap and tap, where you can't do that with Nissa, so that's why Well-Wisher is technically better. Sands of Delirium, once again, mana ramp, I get like fucking 100. I can literally mill someone out, just in case, I can't, attack them or whatever. Let's keep it, I'm trying to stay on, fucking order. Immaculate Magistrate just puts a bunch of 1/1 counters on target creature for each. Oh, I guess it's even target creature. I thought it was target elf too. So for each elf you control, so that just once again makes a fuck ton of, it can make a bunch of strong ass creatures. So we got Timberwatch Elf. I mean, once again, make a fuck ton of strong creatures. Not fucking as strong as Immaculate, but whatever. Where are we going next? We got Ashnod's Altar, sacrifice creature, get some fucking colorless mana, 2 colorless mana. Circle of Dreams Druid, get a green mana for each creature you control when you tap it. So that's a lot of fucking mana. Elvish Archdruid, which, same fucking thing for each elf you control. Other elves get, so also kind of like a little mini anthem of sorts, or champion, elf champion. But I don't have an Elvish champion or whatever. Just want to see once again, each creature you control. So this is like each creature, so that's even it's 3, anyway. Elvish Piper, pretty solid. You may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield, tapping 1, or paying 1 green mana and tapping her or them, which once again, you can easily, once again with its untapping abilities, which we haven't gotten to yet. Emerald Medallion, fucking green spells cost 1 less to cast, great. Freyalise, I can make Llanowar elves with her first ability. I also have multiple sorcery or instant, like disenchant ability with destroy target enchantment or artifact. Draw a card for each green creature you control. That's pretty fucking solid. Then we're at Gyre Sage. This one, I like her because obviously you can get a fuck ton of mana once again, but like a little tricky when because it's not a completely +1/+1 counter deck. So but it's okay. And plus she also has the evolve ability, so that's pretty fucking cool. Herald's Horn, creature type you pick costs 1 less to cast. Whatever. Jahiri, Friend of the Forest, tokens you control have tap them to add green mana, 1 green mana, so essentially making them Llanowar elves. Mana Reflection. If you tap a permanent for mana, it produces twice as much of that mana instead. Come on. Once again, 6 drops, so you only want to put it in so many, probably in a mana, mana ramping deck. Marwyn the Nurturer. Once again, whenever another elf enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on Marwyn the Nurturer, and then she just adds an amount of green mana equal to Marwyn's power. Nissa Who Shakes the World. Literally the top ability is probably the most important one in my opinion. Whenever you tap a forest for mana, add an additional green mana. So that's pretty solid. Omnath, Locus of Mana. You don't lose unspent green mana as steps and phases end. And then he gets +1/+1 for each unspent green mana you have, which I can make a fuck ton of it, and it's just nice little bank to have. Phyrexian Altar, the better version of Ashnod's Altar. Sacrifice a creature, add 1 mana of any color. Depending on who, what do you might need 2 mana more than 1 mana, so, the color might not matter. Priest of Titania, pretty solid. Add green mana to your mana pool for each elf on the battlefield. Pretty classic. Seedborn Muse. Untap all permanents you control during each other player's untap step. This could help when you have a way of flashing out stuff, but also protecting yourself. Also, I know there's some other things that you can do. Like I could, re-fucking activate abilities and stuff. Selvala, Heart of the Wilds. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, its controller may draw a card if its power is greater than each other creature's power, and then add X mana in any combination of color where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. Pretty solid. Soul Ring, fucking why not? Gotta always have it, I guess. I mean, I was putting Soul Rings in my fucking standard decks. Fucking A. Thran Dynamo because I can afford the 4. Otherwise, you do it when you can, I guess, or if you have to. Throne of Eldraine, pretty fucking solid. Choose a color, and then you add 4 mana of the chosen color. Spend this mana only to cast mono-colored spells of that color. That's pretty solid, man. Urza's an Incubator, choose a creature type, and then that creature type costs 2 less to cast. And then his ability... Viridian Joiner, add an amount of green mana to your mana pool equal to Viridian Joiner's power. Once again, you beef them up. Once again, this is where you don't need counters or whatever. Going back up to Crashing Drawbridge. I mean, one of the few ways of giving green creatures haste, besides I think there's a world enchantment or something like that, but it gives all creatures on the battlefield, including your opponent's haste, so fuck that. Maybe I'll use it one day. Because maybe it won't matter. Maybe it will. Eladamri, right? Yeah. Lord of Leaves. I mean, pretty solid. Gives all your elves Forest Walk, which helps with the Yavi Maya, Cradle of Growth. And then elves cannot be targeted spells or abilities. And it's other elves, so you can target Eladamri. Holy shit, he's $55. What the fuck? Holy shit. And then Eldrazi Monument. Come on, this shit is solid. Creatures you control get +1/+1 and have flying and indestructible. You gotta sacrifice a creature, otherwise you gotta sacrifice it. But what the fuck ever, man. Ezuri, Renegade Leader, kind of like, cheap little Craterhoof Behemoth of sorts. I mean, if you can easily afford, just fucking getting mono ramping the motherfucker to get infinite, and then have gain trample, whatever, and then you can regenerate target elf. That's fucking great. Another target elf, so you can't even regenerate himself. That's a bummer. Swiftfoot Boots, you throw that on your commander or any other creature that really fucking needs that safety or protection, as well as the haste. Valkadin, Valkadin. Vidalkin, Orrery. You may cast spells as they have flash. Yep, I think there might be a better card that's also... I don't know, but it's fine. And then Yeva, Nature's Herald. I mean, another way of casting creature cards with flash or whatever. Specifically green, but once again, they're all green anyway, so... Sands of Delirium, already said. We're going now to 6. 6 is pretty simple. This is I totally would throw 6 in my Moldrathra. Fuck. Anyway, we'll talk about that when I get to it. Whenever 6 attacks, mill 3 cards. You may put the land card from among them into your hand. It's more of the other ability, just in case like something dies or something gets killed or whatever. I can bring a non-land permanent card from my graveyard because he gives them retrace, which means I think you can cast it. You can cast a card from your graveyard as long as you discard a land as well as paying the mana cost. Sorry if I fucking explained. I fucked that up. Wheel of Sun and Moon, another way of making it so then if a card goes into my graveyard, it goes right back into my deck, starting at the bottom of the library, whatever. Where are we going next? Then we got Jagged-Scar Archers. That's just pretty solid, making a pretty strong-ass creature, whatever. But more like deals, I can kill off flying. This doesn't have a whole lot of flying in it, or protection besides like Eldrazi Monument or whatever. Tap 4 untapped creatures control, another way of destroying artifacts or enchantments, but once again, it's not a sorcery or instant, because you only can do that 1 or 2 times with instances or sorceries. This is like, as long as you have a bunch of creatures, you can destroy a bunch of shit. Walking Ballista. I mean, you have the mana. You can literally kill everybody with this motherfucker. This should honestly be in the finisher section. I didn't pick these categories. It already auto-shuffled or whatever these. So whatever. I probably would switch it into finisher because that's exactly what this fucker. That's what I put it in there for. Okay, double seasoning, double your tokens, double your counters. So that's pretty fucking solid. Imperious Perfect. You know, another way of making a fuck ton of elf tokens. And then I guess a little mini anthem ability too. Presence of Gond, which is another way of making a fuck ton of tokens. And once again, this is an untapped deck. It's got elements of that anyway. And then this one I might switch out, maybe. It's just kind of thematically cool to make a fuck ton of wolves, I guess. But it is kind of expensive thinking about it. You are paying 4 and then whatever the fuck. I mean, it's just, when you have the mana, it doesn't really matter, I guess. Because, I'm a fucking, I've been pretty much in poverty, so this is just like a way of generating money in a way in the game, I guess, using, I guess mana is, in my opinion, money, so. Winter Orb. I mean, this is, the reason why specifically this is in here is because I don't use as much land when I start getting going, so it's just, it's fucking other people over, but it's just, it's strategic, man. I'm sorry, and this is why it's a 4, not a. I mean, it would probably be closer to a 5, but I mean, it's not. I don't think it's fast enough. I don't have enough tutors in here as well. There's other things. I probably would throw in more copies or something like that if I could. Which honestly, there isn't too many copies as far as I'm remembering in green. So having a colorless copy is nice. Anyway, back to Seeker of Skybreak. This is where we got the untap abilities. Not a whole lot, but just enough. Untap target creature. That's great. This, Staff of Domination. You do this, I can draw out my deck. I can fucking get infinite life. I can untap all my creatures. And I can tap all of my enemies' creature or all my my opponent's creatures. Jesus. So with this one, I think I need like 5 mana in order to. I need to be able to generate 5 mana from a single creature in order to have infinite mana to then do infinite everything else. You have a creature, like say this guy, Viridian Joiner's got 5 power, you tap, you get 5 green mana. So then you untap, you pay 3 and you untap target creature, which will be untapping the Viridian Joiner, and then you tap 1 mana, or you use up the remaining 1 mana to untap Staff Domination. You've now used 4 mana, but you have 1 mana left over. And then you tap them again. You get another, now you have 6 mana, et cetera, et cetera. You keep doing that over and over again. Umbral Mantle, it does it for only 4 mana instead, and you can make your creature infinite strong. Staff of Domination, though, I mean, it gives you, allows you to have infinite life, tap out everybody, and then draw a card. Draw out your entire deck. And then Wirewood Symbiote, return an elf you control to its owner's hand, untap target creature. I mean, there's just being able to untap is just beneficial. You're making fucking 10 mana in a turn, on turn 2 or 3 or whatever, instead of just 5 mana or whatever, 3 mana, whatever your land can give you, and maybe a mana rock or whatever. Fauna Shaman, I mean, that's a tutor right there, obviously. You discard a creature card, search your library for a creature card reveal, and put it into your hand. I mean, it's not even ask for an elf, so it can just be any creature, whatever you need. This is also a tutor, but it's only for a one-time thing. It's more of the back. Once when you destroy the battle, each non-human creature you control, you may have that creature assign its combat damage as though it weren't blocked. So, I mean, just making it so it's unblockable. Plus, you got like a fucking giant 8/8 dinosaur. That's pretty cool. I might remove this because once again, it's whatever. But it is one of the few tutors you get in green. I mean, there are tutors out there. Anyway, and then Pyre of Heroes. Sacrifice a creature. And then it's you can search your library for a creature card that shares the same creature type. It's converted mana cost is whatever +1. Then you put it on the battlefield. And then you do this only as a sorcery. I'm pretty sure I got everything. Let's just make sure before we continue. I'm pretty sure. Yep. We got everything. Just want to make sure. I'm pretty sure I talked about everything. Let's see. It's fun little stats. Like I said, average mana value, a lot of it's in the threes. Because I take it like you're going into battle or war or whatever. You're gonna lose shit. People are gonna take shit away from you through milling, destruction, whatever, wrath, exile, reshuffling, restarting, even of sorts. So it's just like, but like these are very strong threes. These are very strong fours. I think maybe it'd be nice to have some, like, I don't know. Would it be nice to have Llanowar elves and like the clones of the Llanowar elves? I just think it's thinking too small in my opinion. Mana dorks are relevant I have huge mana dorks in this fucking deck. I mean, it's like, it really is a go big or go home. Like we're hitting a home run or we're fucking losing today. That's literally what this is. Yeah, like ramp 84%, land, whatever. That's blah, 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 blah. Anyway, drawing. I mean, once again, I guess ramps. Obviously, it's fucking elf. What do you expect? Elves have always. A lot of people fucking give. They don't fucking. Elves cause salt for sure. There's no doubt. I think there's just one more thing I wanted to look at. I just can't fucking remember how to find it. I don't know. I guess you'll find it on there. There was one more motherfucking thing, man. I just can't fucking remember for the life of me. I think we're pretty much it. If I just can't fucking remember. I think stats. Yeah, stats. Okay, I think that's what we're doing. Okay, I don't think it's $800 exactly or whatever because of all the fucking land. If you take out 27, it's like 3 times 27. So 3 times 2, that's fucking 5. That's 6. Jesus, I can't. Jesus. So that's 60. Fuck. 60. Jesus Christ. And then another fucking 3 and 7, 21. 21. So it's $81 or so of fucking land. I have a couple of them, so it doesn't matter. Whatever. It doesn't matter how expensive. I guess it's just like, no, I don't expect anyone to build this deck because how expensive it is. This is just literally, I've had these cards for a very long time. And it's not even a perfect deck. It's just, I love this fucking deck. I love the idea. I love playing like Monolith Dredge, for example. The reason why I love Monolith Dredge is that you're not using one of the most important resources or components to the game, and you're still able to potentially win. Granted, it's a lot more of a fucking coin flip, but that's kind of where this kind of goes. It's the idea of once again only using momentary spells or whatever. I'm just trying to think of what the opposite of fucking permanent. As long as just once again momentary, I guess. But yeah, there's literally only one sorcery in it. Super green, obviously. I think that was pretty much it. I think that was. Wasn't there something? I don't fucking. I guess it doesn't fucking matter. Don't matter. It don't fucking matter. I think this is what I wanted to show, but I already fucking showed it. So yeah, it was. Yeah, I think that was literally what it was. Just 3.26 is the average mana value. I think with a lot of these decks, if you were to keep watching how I build, once again, the most important thing, because if you have a bunch of fucking 8 or a bunch of 6s and 7s, how the fuck are you going to get that shit out in the field? You know what I mean? Unless you have a fuck ton of mana ramp really quickly, which it can be possible, blah, blah, blah. But, once again, you want to stick around here. That's what I would suggest. Once you get more into here, that's like a lot more late game shit. If you're going to do this kind of shit, you better have ways of stopping people up until, you want to hold them down. You hold the game out as long as possible if that's your fucking game plan. If you fucking want to use more expensive cards, but we'll just I think we'll call it a day. Thanks for listening. If you did, thanks for. This is I'm showing this off more of just in case. And worst comes to worst. If fucking something happens or whatever, but. I hope not. Knock on fucking invisible wood. But anyway, thanks again for listening. Yeah.